Hello, friends, and welcome back to another episode of the Juicebox Podcast. This is the diabetes news that I found interesting for the week of August 26th, 2024. Nothing you hear on the Juicebox Podcast should be considered advice, medical or otherwise. Always consult a physician before making any changes to your healthcare plan. When you place your first order for AG1 with my link, you'll get 5 free travel packs and a free year supply of vitamin D. Drink ag1.com/juicebox. Don't forget to save 40% off of your entire order at CozyEarth.com. All you have to do is use the offer code JUICEBOX at checkout. That's JUICEBOX at checkout to save 40% at CozyEarth.com. If you'd like to help out the podcast and type 1 diabetes research, go to t1dexchange.org/juicebox, join the registry, take the survey. All you need to be is a U.S. resident who has type 1 diabetes or is the caregiver of someone with type 1. If you're those things and you'd like to help, t1dexchange.org/juicebox. It should not take you more than 10 minutes. I've done it myself. It's very easy. They ask you some questions. You know all the answers. You answer the questions. And just like that, you've helped. Some news today out of Washington, D.C. from the FDA by way of Acton, Massachusetts. Acton, of course, where Omnipods are made. Omnipod 5 now has approval for use with type 2 diabetes. Wow. Let's see. Insulet says more than 30 million people live with type 2 diabetes in the U.S. 6 million of them require insulin. Of those, 2.5 million use multiple daily injections. The company is hoping to bring the Omnipod to those people. Here's what their study, you got to submit your study to the FDA, see what they say. The results demonstrated glycemic improvements with the use of Omnipod 5 compared to prior treatments of insulin injections or pump therapy in adults with type 2 diabetes. So you're going to get some automation for people with type 2. That's going to be kind of awesome here. There was, let's see what outcomes included: significant reductions in A1C, reductions in time in hyperglycemia, and reduction in total daily insulin dose. Insulet also reported a large improvement in time in range without increasing time in hypoglycemia. That's pretty awesome. Well, people with type 2 diabetes using insulin, automation is now available to you. I don't usually do this, but use my link, omnipod.com/juicebox. Get started today. We'll stay with the theme here of devices being repurposed for other uses. Omnipod 5 for type 2 diabetes. And now Dexcom has launched something called the Dexcom Stelo. Now, this is an over-the-counter CGM, right? I'm just going to read your press release. Today, Dexcom announced a significant product launch as another continuous glucose monitor is hitting the market. Dexcom launched its Stelo over-the-counter OTC CGM biosensor, a small wearable sensor specifically for people with type 2 diabetes who do not use insulin. Stelo features a 15-day wear based on the G7 platform. It offers a software experience tailored specific for non-insulin users. So Dexcom, can you get a Stelo at dexcom.com/juicebox? I didn't know that this news report was going to turn into please use Scott's links, but let's take a look here. Yeah, just go to my link, dexcom.com/juicebox. Then when you get there, click on the Dexcom logo in the top left. It's green, and it'll take you to the front page, and you can check out Stelo. They'll see how you came in. Okay, so that's what we've got so far for news this week. I'll be back. I like the Stelo thing is good. You know what I mean? People with type 2, let me see if I can find out more about this. Stelo is currently available for purchase at stelo.com. So go to my link and then click on that. You'll see it. Either as a single pack of 2 sensors with a total wear time of up to 30 days for $99, or through a monthly subscription of $89 a month. It includes 2 sensors every 30 days. This is FSA and HSA eligible. All right, well, if you have type 2 diabetes and you want to check out Dexcom, check out the Stelo, and hopefully one day insurance will cover this too. But for now, it looks like it's over-the-counter and out-of-pocket. Over-the-counter, though, means you don't need a prescription. That really is pretty great. I guess we're going to stick with devices almost exclusively this week. Looks like there's a partnership between Medtronic and Abbott. Looks like the collaboration is aimed at integrating Abbott's Freestyle Libre CGM tech with Medtronic's insulin delivery system. Abbott will develop a CGM sensor based on its Freestyle Libre technology that will work exclusively with Medtronic's automated insulin delivery system and smart insulin pen. This integration will enable automatic insulin adjustments to help. Yeah, we know how it works. Well, that's interesting. So you're going to take Abbott's glucose sensing technology based on Libre and make a CGM that only works with Medtronic stuff. That's interesting. I wonder why they did that. We're going to learn more about that at some point, aren't we? For clarity, this is the future stuff. Like the new Simplera CGM from Medtronic is not made by Abbott as far as I know. Huh. I do wonder. We'll have to get somebody on and talk about that. I wonder why they did that. I mean, maybe you're just going to use people's, strengths. Or maybe Medtronic looked and said, look, Abbott makes great CGMs. We'll do that. And we don't have to make them. Or they're going to make them and not. I don't know. And I can't find out right now. But I'll try to find out in the future for you. I am going to finish up this week with a publication from the American Diabetes Association. It's called Effects of SARS-CoV-2 Infection on Incident Diabetes by Viral Variant, Findings from the National COVID Cohort Collaborative, N3C. How about that? Clear as mud. Let me break it down for you. The study aimed to understand if the risks of developing diabetes after COVID-19 differed across different viral variants. So they looked at different variants of COVID to see if one or the other gave you a greater risk of developing diabetes. Data from the National COVID Cohort Collaboration showed that the risk of new onset diabetes was elevated across all SARS-CoV-2 variants. Those are ancestral, Alpha, Delta, and Omicron. The increase in diabetes risk was similar for all variants, but showed a delay in onset with the Omicron variant after 180 days. Despite the milder severity of recent variants, the risk of developing diabetes post-COVID remains high, highlighting the need for continued monitoring. The research supports the integration of diabetes prevention strategies in a post-COVID era. That's interesting. The findings suggest that people recovering from COVID-19, regardless of the variant, are at an increased risk for diabetes, making ongoing surveillance and diabetes prevention important components of care. That's what they say. The study specifies that the increased risk of diabetes after COVID-19 includes both type 1 and type 2, but most new diagnoses were of the type 2 variant. The incident rates of both types increased across all viral variants, with the highest rates observed during the Omicron. Like we said, the study used data from a large cohort to assess the risk of both types of diabetes. If you're newly diagnosed, check out the Bold Beginnings series. Find it at juiceboxpodcast.com up in the menu, in the featured tab of the private Facebook group, or go into the audio app you're listening in right now and search for Juicebox Podcast Bold Beginnings. Juicebox is one word, Juicebox Podcast Bold Beginnings. This series is perfect for newly diagnosed people. I've been doing these news segments for a few months now, and they're really well received. I want to thank you for that, and let you know if you see any news about diabetes that you think is interesting, head over to juiceboxpodcast.com and send it in through the link. There's a link in there how to contact me. You'll find it when you get there. I know you will. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Do me a favor. If you need or want anything that is sold by one of the sponsors, please use my links. When you do that, you are supporting the production of this podcast, helping to keep it free and plentiful, and you're just helping me out. I pay my electric bill with this money. I keep the podcast going. I'm not saying buy something you don't want, but I mean, if you're getting an Omnipod, then go to my link. You know what I mean? That kind of thing.